If you're watching this, I need you to listen closely. This isn't a ghost story. It's not some internet creepypasta. What I'm about to tell you is real, and it's dangerous. The only reason I'm even sharing it is because I think it's trying to find someone new. It started 4 years ago when I worked night shifts as a security contractor. I was sent to watch over an abandoned pizzeria, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Yeah, that one. Everyone thinks it's a joke, a dumb urban legend. Missing kids, broken animatronics, weird noises at night. But it's not a joke. There's something in there. Not a ghost, not a person, something else. It looks like us. It learns fast. And it lies. They call it the mimic. I quit after only 3 nights. I changed my number, burned the uniform, moved across the state. But even now, sometimes I hear my own voice in the static of the radio, saying things I don't remember. If you're still here, turn this off. Forget the name. Because once you know about the mimic, it knows about you too. I took the job because I needed the money. It was that simple. I'd been laid off from my last contract, bills were piling up, and the only thing on offer was night security at some dusty old building the company was remodeling. No one told me where it was until the paperwork was signed. When I finally saw the address, I laughed out loud. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The place was boarded up, covered in graffiti, broken windows, overgrown parking lot. It looked like no one had touched it in years. The main sign was still hanging, just barely. Freddy smiling wide, his paint faded and flaking. Inside was worse. Dust on everything. Tables still set with dirty plastic cups and torn napkins. Kids' drawings still taped to the walls, yellow with age. And then there were the animatronics. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, lined up on stage like they'd never moved an inch. That first night, the job seemed boring. All I had to do was sit in the back office, watch security feeds, and log anything unusual. The place had no power, so they'd hooked up a loud old generator out back. The cameras were black and white, low quality, and most of them didn't even work. But then the audio system kicked in by itself. It played a soft jingle, one I remembered from childhood, something stupid and cheerful about pizza and fun. I figured it was a glitch. I noted it in the logbook and went back to watching static. A few minutes later, I noticed something strange. On one of the working cameras, the one facing the main stage, Bonnie was gone. I thought maybe I was just tired. Checked the other cameras. Nothing. Then I looked up at the hallway feed, and there it was. Bonnie, standing perfectly still, facing the camera. It hadn't made a sound. The hairs on my arms stood up. Still, I told myself it had to be a prank. Some stupid test. Maybe someone was messing with the animatronics remotely to see how I'd react. So I stayed. Second night, the power cut out twice. I heard something moving in the vents. Third night, I saw myself. On one of the screens, there I was, sitting in the office. But I wasn't moving, and then I smiled. After that third night, I started sleeping with the lights on. What I saw on the screen haunted me. My own face, not blinking, not breathing, just smiling. A wide, dead smile, like something wearing my skin. And when I turned around to check the security office, I was alone. I kept telling myself it had to be the old tapes glitching. Maybe the system was looping old footage. But every time I blinked, I swore I could feel someone watching from just outside the camera's view. On the fourth night, things got worse. The air inside the pizzeria felt heavier, thicker, like breathing through soup. The smell of burnt plastic and mold crept in around 2 a.m. and never left. I heard voices, not loud, not clear, just whispers through the static of the cameras. They said my name. One voice was deeper, slower, like it was struggling to use words it had only just learned. It repeated one sentence over and over. I can be anyone. That same night, the cameras cut out completely. All of them, for 10 solid minutes. When they came back, the animatronics were gone, not just moved. Gone. Off the stage, out of frame, out of sight. The only one still visible was Foxy, but even he wasn't in his cove. He was right outside the security office, just off camera. I could hear the scrape of metal feet on tile. I could hear breathing. I locked the door. Not long after, the door shook. Hard, as if something had slammed into it full force. Then silence. The next day, I went to management. I asked questions. No one gave me answers. One guy, older janitor, name tag said Marcus, pulled me aside in the parking lot and told me not to come back. It's not just the suits, he said. It's what's inside them. That place, it copies things. People, faces, movements, it mimics. I asked what he meant. He leaned closer. His voice cracked like it hurt to say it. I watched it wear my brother's skin. Walk around like him, talk like him. But it wasn't him. It smiled wrong. That night, I almost didn't go back. But something about the footage, the whispers. I had to understand it. I had to see what was in there. So I showed up again. 5th night. The moment I stepped into the building, the power cut out. The generator outside shut down, like it knew I was inside. The only light I had was from my flashlight. The halls were darker than before, too quiet. And the air felt like something was breathing down my neck. I turned a corner and froze. Standing at the end of the hallway was me. It was me. Standing at the end of the hallway, same shirt, same flashlight, same terrified face, but it didn't breathe, didn't blink. I lifted my flashlight to get a better look. It tilted its head, slowly, like it was studying me. Then it smiled. Not a normal smile, a stretched, skin-tight grin, like the mouth had been split too wide. The teeth looked wrong, sharp, too many of them, like something trying to be human and failing. I took a step back. It took one forward, copying me exactly. It didn't make a sound, just mirrored my every move like a shadow made of flesh. I turned and ran. My footsteps echoed down the hall, but I could hear more than just mine. Heavier steps, metal scraping against tile, something following. I slammed the office door shut and hit the lock. The monitor screens came back on. All cameras, every single one, showed me. My face, over and over, on stage, in the hallways, sitting in the kids' party room. Some smiled, some screamed silently. Some just stared into the camera like they were waiting for me to look directly at them. My voice came through the intercom, not from me. From it. I can be anyone. I can be you. Then silence. Suddenly the lights in the room dimmed. The temperature dropped. My breath fogged the air in front of me. I heard scratching beneath the floor. Soft at first, then louder, like claws on metal. Then a voice, not a whisper this time, a growl. Let me in. I backed away from the door. Then, slowly, the office door began to unlock on its own. The button clicked. The bolt slid back. Something was overriding the controls. I grabbed my phone to call for help. No signal. The door creaked open. Standing there wasn't just one version of me, it was dozens, all slightly wrong. Different eyes, missing fingers, smiles too wide, necks too long. Their skin looked stretched, almost like rubber over wire. Behind them, rising up from the shadows, was the mimic. It wasn't wearing a suit anymore. It was metal and bone. A spider-like body made of scrap and wires, draped in leftover parts from every mascot it had copied. Bits of Freddy, Foxy, Chica, and human parts too. Fingers, teeth, a single glassy eyeball staring out of its chest. It crawled along the ceiling like an insect. No sound, just breathing, wet, raspy. I froze. It dropped down just inches from me. I didn't move. It leaned close, and in my own voice it whispered, "I only needed one more copy." Then everything went black. I woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed. Police found me curled up in the alley behind the old pizzeria, clothes torn, face scratched, eyes wide open. They said I was screaming the same word over and over, mimic. I told them about the animatronics, the voices, the thing pretending to be me. They didn't believe me. The building was empty when they searched it. All the cameras were wiped. The mascot suits were gone. Even the stage was torn out like it had never existed. They called it a psychotic break, said I must have imagined it all. Stress, sleep deprivation, trauma. But I know what I saw. And worse, I know it's still out there. After I was discharged, I tried to get my life back. I moved in with my sister, changed jobs, stayed away from dark hallways, old buildings, anything with flickering lights. But it followed me. Every mirror I pass, I check twice. Sometimes I see my reflection smiling when I'm not. I'll be on a call and hear my own voice whispering back things I never said. A week ago, I got a package, no return address. Inside was a VHS tape. Just one word written on the label, copy. I burned it, buried the ashes. But that night, I heard something crawl into the attic. The floor creaked all night. I haven't slept since. I think the mimic escaped the pizzeria. I think it doesn't need the old building anymore. It's learned how to move through the systems. Audio, video, memories. All it needs is a glimpse of you, a sample. And then it can be you. If you're reading this, delete it, forget it. Burn the name from your mind. Because the moment you think of it, it thinks of you too. And it's already learning how to wear your skin.